meditation of 48 days. This is a very important event in the Buddhist tradition. While he was meditating under the Bodhi tree, Mara, the king of death, got very upset. In the Hindu tradition, it's usually Indra who gets very upset when anybody does meditation. But Mara, the lord of death, got very upset, and he sent his 3 daughters to dance before Buddha to disrupt. He was not Buddha yet, he was Gautama, Siddhartha, to dance in front of him to disrupt his meditation. It's interesting, the name of the 3 daughters are Greed, Desire, and Passion. They danced very hard, which means he probably went through his own psychological state of mind, dealing with greed, desire, and passion. And finally, the Mara was defeated and the daughters were killed. If you're interested in looking at a dramatization, you should look at a movie called The Little Buddha, which is available from Amazon.com. It's a very nice movie. I've used it for years to illustrate this particular point. So we will talk about your own daughters of Mara when you meditate, or when we meditate, what happens psychologically to our mind, how greed, desire, and ego and so passions come into play. The second story has to do with Marco Polo. You know, Marco Polo in the 1200s made a travel to China, and he got lost. And he was stranded in a snowstorm. Some Tibetan Buddhist monks happened to travel by, and they found him lying in the snow. They picked him up and brought him to a monastery and nursed him. And in his memoir, Marco Polo said, when he opened his eyes in this room, he saw a monk levitated halfway through the ceiling, and that blew his mind, how this monk was meditating. Now, I don't know whether this is truth or not, but this story has often been told in connection with Marco Polo's experience with meditation and the Buddhist monk. There is so much written about levitation and other things. If you're interested in the Hindu practice of siddhis, which is miraculous powers that come to you through yoga and meditation, read the book Autobiography of a Yogi by Yoga Paramahansa. Maybe some of you may have already read it. It narrates in detail the story of his guru, how he was Yogeshwaraji, how he was able to astral project himself and was present in 2 different places at the same time. And his disciples saw him in North India and also saw him in South India. Now again, I don't know whether this is true or not, but Yogi Paramahansa Yogananda is a very reliable, important teacher, and I don't think he will lie, but he narrates very articulately many stories of yogis and their meditation and what they did in their siddhis. More on that again if you're interested in it. The word meditation in English comes from the Latin roots meditari, or the verb, the Western Latin word is meditatio, and verb is meditatio and meditari. But in Sanskrit, it's called dhyana, from the root dhyahi. In both cases, it means contemplation or meditation. It has to do with mind, controlling the mind, contemplating. But in the Buddhist tradition, I like very much the interpretation of dhyana as bhavana. Bhavana means mental culture. In other words, you're not simply sitting meditating for a while. You're part of a meditation culture, which means you have to watch your life, do not tell lie, do not steal, the 5 precepts in Buddhism. And Patanjali's Yoga Sutra talks about 8 limbs of yoga, in which yama, niyama, asana, pratyahara, prana, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, all of those have to do with creating a meditative culture, which means a lifestyle of intense practice all the time, thinking about how to be pure, how to purify your mind. The Buddhists in Japan say, polish your mind like you polish a mirror. Mind has many dust that cling to the mind, like a mirror has many dust, and you have to keep it clean. So that's a good imagery to talk about how dhyana or bhavana as meditation culture or mental culture is important when we're talking about meditation. Just a word, meditation is a very ancient discipline. In this book called Wonder That Was India, I will find they have pictures of many seals, stamps on rocks they found in Indus Valley civilization, which is 3000 BC, which means 5,000 years ago. But University of Wisconsin, people who are doing the excavation there still, which is in Pakistan, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, they found this particular seal. I hope you can see it. This one here. It is not very clear in this picture, but it is the picture of a man seated in yoga position, cross-legged, and there are many animals that are surrounding him. So somebody doing yoga practice maybe 7,000 years ago is a very important event in Indian history. So the point I'm trying to make that meditation yoga is has a very long tradition, goes back to at least 7,000 years ago in the Indus Valley civilization. Later on, when Aryans came to India, supposedly from Central Asia, and they were called from Caucasus Mountain, they were Caucasian people. They took this tradition of meditation and yoga and elaborated while they wrote the yogas, the Vedas. Rig Veda particularly, which is the collection of hymns and poems, narrates the yogis' description of what they found while they did meditation. So my second point, this was all my introduction. My second point is there are two types of meditation we can look at in two different ways. One is secular meditation,